Hello, this is Dylan. Welcome back to Table Space, your place for all things tabletop gaming. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. A few days left, and then we're back on the weekend. I'm doing pretty well. Didn't get a chance to make a video or paint yesterday, but catching up and getting some more commission work done on Metal Gear Solid, painting up Meryl, the disguised version of her. I painted her a bright green, and I did it on purpose so that way I can use this dark wash to really darken it down, and then use that same green on top of on top of the base coat to really have that green kind of pop and mix well with some highlights. So, gonna trudge forward. I'm doing a lot of detail work on these models, but they are very, 28 mil ish, and not that much detail, so should be able to fly through these pretty quickly because I have the undisguised version of her. I have Gray Fox. I have about 6 boss characters to paint, and then I have, like, I don't know, 10 or 12 guards to paint as well. But to be fair, the guards are going to be very, very general colors, just basic base coats and a wash. Because that's how I was commissioned to paint them. So when I do a commission, I have 3 different tiers that I charge. One being what I call tournament. It's kind of Warhammer terminology. Tournament, where it's just base coats and a general kind of dark wash over everything. I have tabletop, where I'll do base coats, I'll do some washes, and I'll do some general highlights, typically like the head area or, like, chest and the weapon. Just kind of like some noticeable areas that you'd expect to see some highlights. And I have what's called Tabletop Plus, where that's where I'll go in and I'll add, non-metallic metal textures, glazing, oil washes, highlights, the whole shebang. Basically, the stuff that you see on my YouTube shorts. If you take a look, that's pretty much what I paint on the Tabletop Plus. And as a little extra thank you, I throw in a T-shirt, a Table Space T-shirt, and I'm actually talking to a dice making company right now to try to get some custom D6s made to give those out as well, just to kind of change things up, because I've given a few T-shirts out already. It's been fun. It's actually really cool to see some of the folks at the gaming stores wearing my shirts that I gave them. It really makes me proud of what I'm doing and pushes me to keep going and try to reinvent myself and advertise and all that business related stuff that goes into starting your own business. And today I kind of want to talk about what I've been seeing on YouTube lately with the Games Workshop world of price increases. I know I kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, but every year it seems we're getting a 3 to 4% increase in the cost of GW product. Now, to be fair, this last update, they did say they're only going to go up on the models, that paint and supplies were going to stay the same. I could care less about that. Personally, myself, I do not use Citadel paints. I don't like them. Sure, they have good texture. Known Oil is a great wash. And Agrax Earthshade, sure, it's a good one too. But I don't know, paint pots, in my opinion, paint pots are trash. I'm sorry. If you're not using dropper bottles, you're just wasting so much paint, which is, to be fair, their goal, the point of it. They want you to go back in the store and spend more money to buy some paint because you're wasting so much on your palette. But I'm sorry, that's my rant. I just cannot stand Citadel paints. I feel like excuse me, I'm so angry I can't find my words. They're so overpriced and they're just bad. No, I use a couple. Let me take back what I said. These technical paints, these crackling paints, yeah, I'll use this one. Or if someone wants me to do a commission and they're very specific on the paints that they use, typically Citadel paint, because they look at what the box says and what paints they want. sure, I'll use Citadel paints then. I'll actually request that my customer will give me those paints if they have them, so that I can use them. Otherwise, I just add the cost of the paint pot to the cost of the commission. But I don't know. There's just another price increase. I think I'm getting priced out of the hobby. I really love Warhammer. Could the game be designed better? You know what? To be honest with you, yeah, it could be designed better. It definitely feels like a 1980s game. But I'm the kind of guy who also enjoys to play Talisman. If you've played that game, let me know if you enjoy it. It's a perfect game if you want to have some friends over and you want to have a cool spectacle. Having the board out, the different four corners out on the table, just rolling a d6 and playing Fantasy Monopoly with your friends. It's gonna be fun. So I'm not opposed to playing 1980s feeling games, but the wargaming market is changing, and more people are coming to the table to make some new products and some new games. And I feel like if GW doesn't pay attention to that, they may be in for a big surprise in the next 5-10 years. Could be wrong. I don't think 3D printing is going to take them out. I think it's just going to get bigger, and with everything going on with pricing, I think more people are going to start to be okay with just 3D printing, but we'll see. I can see a point too in the future where they do go into 3D printing STL files, or like having like people sign up to some kind of program similar to a lot of Patreons, some kind of like merchant programs and things where they can get access and the right to sell not the file, but the models to people. I can see them doing that, especially if the tariff whole thing gets crazier and things get more expensive. Maybe they'll do that. That would be cool for me because, I have a business that centers around 3D printing. But as a professional 3D printer, I guess if you want to call me that, eventually 3D printing will be a commonplace thing, I believe. Resin printing, there's definitely some health risks. You definitely need to pay attention to what you're doing. Do not, for any circumstances, handle resin without any proper PPE, personal protective equipment like gloves and masks and goggles, because you're really, putting yourself in harm's way if you're not careful. But other games. Mantic Games is doing good. Halo Flashpoint, if you haven't played it, please check it out. I'll have to maybe show some footage of Halo Flashpoint. It's definitely a fun game. It feels like Halo if you played the video games. It feels just like the video games. And the models, that's the thing, right? GW really does have the best models in the market. I can 3D print stuff that's pretty close, and that looks good, but I don't know, man. The sculptors that are selling their 3D printed models, they're too realistic. Like, this model is perfect. It's got, a gun, some pouches, some straps, different little, things like that. But the models that you can print, they have this elegant chainmail. They've got pouches everywhere, all this detail, and it's just too much. It's too much to paint. It doesn't sell the effect as well to me of a little model from looking at it at a distance. I don't know. It's just too detailed, and it needs to be kind of trimmed down. And who knows? Maybe one day I'll finally get to learn how to sculpt and make my own stuff. Maybe I can take a shot at it. I'm not saying it's easy to just make less details, but I think it needs to happen. I think some of these models are just like, goddamn, it's just like something out of it, like Elden Ring or something. Like, let's dumb it down just a little bit, make it easier to paint. But price increases, man. I'm gonna keep playing Warhammer. I'm gonna use the models that I have, and if the model really sings to me, and really sings to me, and I'm like, oh wow, that's badass, I don't want to have to 3D print a proxy. This is what I want the look to be. then sure, I'll buy it. Case in point, the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon that came out with the Soul Blight release. I was very disappointed with the price tag of like $196 for Prince 4 Dry. But I bit down and I bought it. One of the reasons I bought it is because I have, table space and I can support my hobby somewhat with that. I don't want to use the hobby I don't want to use my business to support my hobby in that way though. I don't want to just buy more stuff to work on and to paint. I want to build the business up by, like the dice that I want to get made for the business, or t-shirts and paints and printers and stuff like that. I don't want to just buy stuff to play with. And it's definitely challenging, right? Because I want to have fun too, but painting is my hobby. Painting is my fun, so I'm going to keep doing that. What about you guys? What are you going to do? Are you going to try some different games? I've been picking up different games over the years that have been sitting on my shelf. And, I'm bought into Warhammer. Like I said, I have the stuff to play with, so I'm going to play with it. But I need to give these other games a shot. But it's so hard, just like with 5th edition D&D, to get people to try new things. And it takes a stalwart person to be able to do that. Someone who's got, stuff to play with, terrain, rules, cheat sheets. Basically like a DM teaching a player how to play D&D. You got to be able to teach the new people how to play and provide them with everything that they need to play so that they can experience the game. So Halo definitely can do that. $50, you get, a 2-player starter set basically. So there's that. And Battletech, same thing. Frostgrave, that's a good one. That's something I've wanted to do too, is get some people into Frostgrave. It seems like a cool system. I've played it only once, but something that actually has good campaign rules I think would be awesome. Yeah, so a little non-metallic metal on that FAMAS. Looks pretty good. Sweet. Oh, man. I'm so curious to see what the actual prices will be. In my head, I know it's 4%, but what is that going to look like? I mean, if a box of Space Marines is like $60, it's going to be like 65, 63? I don't know. I'm bad with math, to be honest with you. I don't want a price increase. And it's like, they're making so much money as it is on these plastic miniatures. The price of the cardboard box is more than the price of the freaking model. It's crazy. Man. But I guess if you're really into the hobby, you'll spend the money, right? And you'll make it happen. But I cannot freaking stand the greed. Like, why the greed? Why the push to just price people out and just nickel and dime? It's so annoying. Like, people aren't struggling enough as it is. And I don't know. I feel like everybody right now is struggling. My wife and I, we get by. We've got 2 kids. Daycare ain't cheap, and everything else isn't cheap either. My kids eat an arm and a leg, and the groceries are freaking expensive too. And so, at what point do we have to say enough's enough and just step away and try to do something else? I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love D&D so much, is because once you buy the books are yours, the game is yours. You don't have to get, balanced data slate updates every few months, and a new codex and battle tome every couple of years, and new cool rules every 3 years. It's nice to be able to own something and make it yours and have fun with it the way you want to have fun with it. So I don't know. I know I'm kind of just rambling on at this point. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts and put them all out in this video so I can just feel good and get my thoughts and ideas out there to the world and to anyone of you out there who wants to listen. I do appreciate you all for your time and patience as I learn how to make content here on this YouTube thing, and having fun with it too. That's the most important thing. I don't really care how many viewers I get. If I don't get any, that is what it is. I'm just having fun and enjoying the ride. So I guess I'll end the video here. If you had a good time listening, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about the GW's price increases, and let me know what you're going to do to combat them, whether it be to just stop paying for product, move over to something like one-page rules, or just a whole different game entirely. We'll see. I guess my knee-jerk reaction was to look at some other games out there, and I saw a trading card game named Sorcery. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of trading card games. I just don't like the idea of having to constantly buy new cards and just be stuck in a room full of cards that I'm never gonna, use or play with. But apparently, this Sorcery game is centered around what they call a kitchen table meta, which kind of means like homebrew, like each, you just kind of not make up your own rules, but make up your own flow of things and how the game's going to play. And the cards seem very vague enough where you can kind of, talk amongst your opponent how the card is going to interact with the game and that sort of thing, which seems different, seems cool. And I didn't play much Magic growing up. I had collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards for a little bit, never actually played a game ever. But I did collect some cards in like middle school and high school. My brother, though, was big into Magic with his friends. And when I showed him the game, he was very interested and thought it looked cool. And from what he was telling me, it looked like it was a little bit, maybe less of a cash grab than Magic is. So I bought some cards off of eBay, and we'll crack it open and see how it goes. And maybe post some videos on the channel here on YouTube. We'll see. But that's it for tonight, guys and girls. I hope you're all doing well. Keep painting, keep playing, keep having fun. And I'll see you next time on Table Space. Take care. Peace out.